An inspirational speech can change someone's life, can inspire someone to take a new action or to change a belief or a behavior, or a number of other things that are really good for people and for the world. If this sounds like something you'd like to learn how to do, then in this video, I'm going to share with you how to write an inspirational speech. If you want to write an inspirational speech, it is really, really simple. It's 5 simple steps that I'm going to share with you right now. Why, what, who, how, now. That's it. Let me walk you through each step. The why is painting the big picture. It's painting the reason that your speech matters and is important to the people in the room. It's laying out the problem that they might be facing, the pain that they might be feeling, or the challenge that they might be encountering. The why of the speech makes them lean in, raise their eyebrows, and want to hear more. One way to do that is to ask questions at the beginning of your speech, and to start your speech with ways to get the audience engaged and nodding and saying, yes, I want to hear more. One great way to open any speech in this way to get people to lean in is to say, what if? What would it be like if? By asking a question like that, you do something very powerful. You get the audience into their right brain. You get them into their imagination. You get them into a place of desire. So you want to open it with a what if question that positions in the positive rather than in the negative. So a question that I might open a speech, an inspirational speech with would be, what if work felt like play every single day? What if people were dying to work with you and were throwing money at you because they were so excited with the work that you're doing? What would it be like if you were a thought leader and if when you stood up on a stage, you could move people to take action? These are some what if questions that would appeal to my audience. So think about the people that you're going to be in front of in your speech. What is it that they want? What do they desire? What is something that would get them excited and interested in what you have to share? That's the why. Inside of the why, you might also want to share the problem or the pain point that they're struggling with. So getting into what's in the way of them having that vision. So for example, if I asked you, what if work felt like play every single day? And what would it be like if people were dying to work with you? Once you've connected with their why, once you've connected with what they want and that desire, then you can move into what's in the way of them achieving that desire. Now, the second step is the what. Remember I said why, what, who, how, now. So once you've laid out the why, then it's time to bring in the solution. What is it that is the solution to this problem? And not getting into the details of it yet, that's the how, but getting into the overarching solution. So for example, in the example I gave you earlier where I said, what if work felt like play every single day? The solution, the what, might be personal branding, which is a topic that I teach about. And the way it works is that it helps people drive inbound business without having to work so hard. So work feels like play every single day. So see how I connected that desire that they wanted with the solution that I'm offering. So the what is where you lay out the solution, the big steps of the solution, not the nitty-gritty details of it. The third step is the who. The who is you. How you are going to connect with this audience. You've already laid out something to get them to pique their interest, to get them engaged and excited. You've shared the problem or the challenge. So you've connected with them on that level, and you've shared that you have a solution, but you haven't gone deep into it yet. The next thing you want to share is, why should we listen to you? Why do you know about this topic? What makes you a credible expert? So in this section, the who section, there are 2 parts of it. One is what makes you a credible expert? What's your experience or your background? And 2, what's your story? And this is where you can get into more of an emotional connection. Now, I will say this. A lot of people tell really long stories, and a lot of people tell really short stories. And you're going to have to decide what works for you. What I'll say is that if you spend too much time on your story, people might check out. But if you don't spend enough time on your story, people won't connect. So you're going to have to find that fine, delicate balance. I generally spend about 5 to 10 minutes of a 60 to 90 minute speech working on or elaborating my story. So once you've connected with them personally and they understand why you're an expert, why they should listen to you, it's time to move into the how phase of your inspirational speech. The how phase is the what it is. What are you teaching? What are you offering them? What's the solution you're providing? But beyond what is it, how can they put it into practice? And so the how is where you might outline and go more into detail of the steps of getting the result that you're teaching them how to get. Last, but certainly not least, is the now part of your inspirational speech. That's where you give them something they can do right this moment or very soon after your speech so that they can take action and start generating a result right away. It might be that you're saying, hey, go buy my book in the back of the room. Or it might be that they try this exercise or this practice that you've given them at home. Or it might be that they buy your product or service. Whatever it is, you want to give people something that they can do right away so that they can generate a result and get momentum. I will never forget the time I saw one of the most inspirational speeches I've ever seen at a TEDx conference in Miami. The speaker was talking about this incredible charity that he was working with, and he told us all about the great work that they were doing all over the world. And at the end of the speech, he left us all hanging. He didn't tell us where we could donate. He didn't tell us where we could find out more. He didn't offer us the opportunity to contribute to this mission. And it felt like a big, huge letdown. So remember, once you've done all this work to inspire people, to teach them something new, to change their perspective, to take some action, give them an action to take. If you're someone who wants to not only write an inspirational speech, but perhaps turn it into a business or make it a part of your marketing strategy, then we can help. We help people all the time put together their speaking presentations and their business models around speaking. If that interests you, click on the link below and set up a time to talk with one of my superstar lead coaches about how we can work with you personally to help you build and launch your speaking career or your speaking business.